Hey everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm using my Auburn Lane kit. It's kind of I'm using some of the Auburn Lane products as well as some other materials from my stash. I made a pseudo kit, or I don't know what you would call it, but it is a kit mainly with Auburn Lane in it. Now, this gray paper is not actually from the collection, but it matches close enough because I know that there's quite a bit of gray. There's also some pink, but I'm not using the pink. I just need some cardstock to put these pieces of pattern paper to make sure that it, you know, is 12 by 12. And I wasn't too worried about using the pink. I have a lot of cardstock in my stash. So this little strip that I put down was a border strip from the collection, and I thought it worked beautifully. On that, the page I'm working on currently is the left-hand side, and the one with the wood grain in the middle is going to be on the right-hand side. Try to use some paper on both sides of the paper to both sides of my layout to make it cohesive. I that way it's meant to be, one concept instead of just single layouts. I haven't done a double page in a long time. I don't do very many of them anymore. I used to do them all the time. So here's the struggle. Um, you know, as beautiful as these letters are, they're very hard to use. I find them very hard to use. It's hard to see them. So I put it down here on the gray, and it is, you can see it somewhat, but it really needs to have something a little bit darker to rest upon so you can see it better. Now, I could have traced around it with my marker, but I really didn't want to do that. And on one of those photos on the left-hand side, that frame is a wood veneer, and it is from the Auburn Lane collection. I don't end up using it. I end up pulling out this frame right here that was from the die cuts. It actually is bigger, and the colors work well because that green is over on the left side, and I don't have any pink. Well, at least I didn't so far. So I wasn't planning on getting pink. So now here is where I'm really struggling, trying to find a darker background to put these letters on. Even though that was dark, it just wasn't wide enough. And then here's some houndstooth. Yeah, so I love the way that the M is. You can see it so well. I'm trying to find just something, anything. I spend a lot of time on this, and I apologize. I wanted to leave it all in, even though I know this video is really long. I wanted you to see my process. So what I pulled from the sticker sheet was some gourds because it was perfect. We were at a farmer's market, and there were pumpkins and gourds there. I even have photos of them, and I wanted to implement this. So here, this is what I finally decide. I found something, and this is from the 6x8 paper pad from Auburn Lane. So it is perfect. Now, whenever you put these alphas on, because they're chipboard, they don't stick. You definitely need to use wet glue. I've had to go back and glue alpha before I realized that they seem sticky whenever I first put them down, but over time it loses its stickiness. So now it's a given. Just go ahead and use wet glue to glue it down. There, I'm liking the way that's looking. I am going to come back with some other alpha to put the word farmers in. So not to worry. Because I don't do this very often, I wanted to work on both of them together at the same time because I wanted to have that cohesiveness of it. So that's why I'm kind of flipping back and forth. I don't know how you guys do it, or do very many of you even do two-page layouts? I'd be curious to know. Now that element that is on the last photo, behind it anyway, I do leave it on this page, but I'm gonna switch it over to another photo. And I took the frame out that was underneath the pumpkin photo and added this little saying, and it's "Enjoy the little things." So that's where it's gonna go. That's gonna be actually one of my embellishment um, corners, I guess. Yeah, I have the sticker sheet, I have the chipboard, I have the die cuts, but I just didn't have very many papers. So I had to go through my stash to get the papers. At least it gave, you know, as Janet would say, the mood and feel of the kit or the collection. So that's why I pulled what I did. But most of these are Auburn papers, so I didn't have to stretch too hard. And of course, I wanted to put some foam tape behind the saying. Now I'm almost done with this foam tape. I already have another one that I've purchased. It's not exactly the same brand as this, but I'm willing to get something that is similar instead of, the price is always the deal because you know how expensive our supplies are. I don't want to spend $40, $50 on a roll of Scotch brand foam tape if I can spend $9 or $11 that does the very same thing. So that's what I did. And I just Google Amazon and I hit, I think it's half-inch foam tape, and it gives a list. And even though I buy it one time, when I go back to get another one, it's already gone. I have to get another brand. It all works the same. If you're particular about the acid-free, you might want to stick with the Scotch brand, but I'm not that worried about it. So I have this little sticker sheet. There were like 3 sheets that came in a package, and there are these hexagon shapes, which are not my favorite shape, but there's all kind of um, sentiments and banners. So what I end up using is that there's a hexagon that's in a maroon color on the left side and then an XOXO. And then I put like half of a hexagon at the bottom under the word market. And on the right-hand side paper, uh, there is over by the ampersand, it's a wood grain element and it says live the good life. And then there's the rose gold. It says September because that's when I was at the farmer's market. And above that, it says autumn vibes. Now, I believe that's like a file folder tab. That's where I'm going to put the word vacation because I was there on vacation. I went to Michigan. You probably know. I've went to go visit my daughter, and she took me to the farmer's market in Ann Arbor. We went like on a Wednesday, and I was surprised to see so many people there on a Wednesday. I don't know. This is like an arrow, and then I find another little sticker and it says worth it. These alphas are from LA Studio. They come in so many different colors, and of course I'm using the black. This is why I like using a ruler to put my word on. That way I can find exactly where to put it, but then even then I didn't do a very good job. Feel like, how many times am I going to have to reposition this? But none of the letters tear, which I'm so thankful. And they're very sticky, so you don't have to use glue to glue them down. I've got to put the word farmers, and there it is. They want to make you guys have to watch that too. Sometimes it can be very painful. And I know it's a little long. I'm so sorry. I'm pulling out a lot of these die cuts, but I don't end up using any of them. But I do go with enamel dots again, using the black and the white. I don't know if I use any of the pink hearts. I do. Well, actually, it's a gold heart. And then the sequins. I always use the Distress Collage medium to glue those down. And the sequins are from the kit, the original collection. So there's going to be some still shots at the end. Thank you for joining me today, and you guys have an awesome day. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.